Nova Kakhovka Dam and hydroelectric power plant in Russian-occupied southern Ukraine suffered a collapse early on Tuesday, prompting mass evacuations and fears of large-scale devastation. Ukraine accused Moscow's forces of committing an act of ecocide. Residents downstream from the Nova Kakhovka Dam on the Dnipro River in Kherson were told to do everything they could to save their lives. The critical Nova Kakhovka Dam is the largest reservoir in Ukraine in terms of volume. It's the last of the cascade of 6 Soviet-era dams on the Dnipro River, a major waterway running through southeastern Ukraine. There are multiple towns and cities downstream, including Kherson, a city of some 300,000 people before Moscow's invasion of its neighbor, CNN reported. The satellite images show that the road bridge that ran across the dam was intact on May 28th. However, imagery from June 5th showed section of the same bridge missing. Analysis suggests the loss of the bridge section took place between June 1st and 2nd. Both Ukrainian and Russian officials said the dam collapsed in an explosion and they are blaming each other for it. The incident happened as Ukraine was gearing up for a widely anticipated counter-offensive. The Ukrainian military intelligence said an explosion occurred at 2:50 a.m. local time on Tuesday when alleged Russian terrorists carried out an internal explosion of the structures of the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant. Meanwhile, the Russian-installed mayor of Nova Kakhovka, Vladimir Leontiev, initially denied the dam had collapsed in an interview, calling it nonsense. He later confirmed the destruction of parts of the dam in what he called a serious terrorist act, but said there was no need to evacuate. The Russian government on Tuesday rejected Ukraine's accusations. In his regular call with journalist, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov claimed the attack was planned and carried out by order received from Kyiv, from the Kyiv regime, aiming to deprive Crimea of water. The dam holds back around 18 cubic kilometers of water in the Kakhovka reservoir. The damage appears to be vast and potentially devastating impact, both upstream and downstream, is worrying. Multiple towns and cities downstream from the dam are at risk of severe flooding. President Zelensky described the bursting of the dam as an environmental bomb of mass destruction and said only liberating the entire country could guarantee against new terrorist acts. Zelensky said on Telegram that there were about 80 settlements in the flood zone and that he had ordered evacuations. The cities include Kherson, a city that was home to some 300,000 people before Moscow's invasion. Around 16,000 people on the west bank of the Kherson region are in a critical zone. More than 1,000 people have been evacuated from the southern Ukrainian city of Kherson, and Kyiv held parts of the wider region. About 1,335 houses on the west bank of the Dnipro River, which is located near the dam, appear to be underwater. Sources said Korsunka and Dnipryani on the Russian-occupied east bank of the Dnipro River were fully flooded, while others are partially flooded. By the way, Andriy Alexyenko, a Russian-installed Kherson official, played down the threat, saying the situation along the banks of Dnipro was under control. The damage is also affecting the area north of reservoir, where the water levels are falling. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which is under Russian control, lies upstream from the destroyed dam. The reservoir supplies cooling water to the plant, Europe's largest nuclear plant station, and is crucial for its safety. The International Atomic Energy Agency said there was no immediate nuclear safety risk at the plant, adding that the agency's experts on site were closely monitoring the situation. The area around the dam has been one of the most heavily contested since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. At the time of the Kherson's liberation, after 8 months of its occupation by Russia, the dam did suffer some damage, although it was unclear what caused the damage. Meanwhile, latest reports said about 42,000 people are at risk from flooding on both sides of the Dnipro River as floodwaters continued to swell on the second day on Wednesday. Now, as Russia and Ukraine play blame game, it is ultimately the innocent people, including children and women, who are suffering.